You are live. Hello, everybody. Looks like we had a unfinished project yesterday, and Twisted Mopar. Unfinished projects back today. Dean, there's the Dean, the Dino, and Frank. Hello, Frank. And there's Twisted Mopar. Hello, everyone. And I saw Turbo Tom. Hello, Turbo Tom. Hey, what's up, brother? Cousin Mike. How's Cousin Mike? It's a kind of blah day here today. I want to look at the temperature before I hopped on here, but I forgot. 56 and cloudy. It was I was going to cut the grass today when I got home from work, but man, it was so windy. I might have got blowed over. But anyway, let me get the link here. I'll throw the link up in here. And then if anybody wanted to jump in, they can. Paste, send. There we go. Now we got to pin it. Something else. How do you get rid of that heart that's all the way on the bottom? Not just while driving. There we go. Got it to that time. Got it that time. All right. We're pinned. So I always like when Frank says anything for a buck. UP, Twisted, Dean. 6 people. So anyway, it was rainy yesterday when I got home, and then it was still damp this morning, and then at least it's in the 50s. I went out the other morning; it was 37. Here we go. But I don't think it's as bad as Idaho right now. No, I thought I saw Idaho was kind of cool. I've been working a lot of overtime, so I didn't get much done on the buck. I got a video just about ready. That's just of the V8 coming, or the V6 coming out. I'm getting prepped up for the V8. I believe I got the motor mounts where I need them to be. So that's about all I got there. Between doctor's appointments, working overtime, blood work, stuff like that, all week long. I didn't get much done at all. Is that light bulb company still sponsoring your channel? Is that Auxito? AUXITO? Right? They just sent me a thing, and I said, yeah, I'll do a video. It's supposed to be like a 15% discount or something somewhere. Hey, there's the Dougster. No fear, the Dougster is here. I got to see about 2 minutes of the live last night on Tony's, and I saw Dougster on there. When I get home, 10:30, I get home. I put the tube on for a little bit, the television, click through, pass out. And I had to get up early for work. Here in Yakima, we have had really warm and then cold on repeat. And we haven't had the real warm. Oh, that was early in the month there. When I first got home from No Name Nationals, it was warm that week. Then after that, she just chilled down. I can't believe it's already 3 weeks, I believe, since I got home. I got home on when did I come home? Oh, Saturday the 30th. of September. And it took me like 3 days to recuperate and get all this stuff out of the truck and all my stuff put away. And I still couldn't find stuff today. But what a fun time that was. I'm looking forward to next year already. I hope I can get the vacation time off. I should be able to. It's in the end of September. Not too many, because that's why I had to take 2 weeks this year, because of one of the other guys that has seniority on me got that week of vacation that I wanted. So then I had to take the week before and then take days. I had to finagle around. Crackama, Washington State. And just everybody saying hi to each other. Hey, there's JB's little shop. Hello, JB. He's getting stuff all shined up. His young lad's been putting out some videos. Brooks a Million. Let me see if I can find his YouTube channel. Oh, David Vizard is live. Oh, he's doing a premiere. That's it. What we got? And if you have problems with him, he's coming out of your laboratory. Try this channel. Oh, yeah, that's right. I know the inside joke there. That there is. Let me see. Is that? Yeah, that's the link. That's the link for Doug's Wolverine Garage. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. I'm looking for Brooks a Million. That was a pretty big fire you had there, JB. I was thinking, I wonder what the neighbors say when you got stuff like that going on. 42 subscribers already. Not too shabby. Copy. Paste. Send. LOL, Dino. This here's JB's Little Shop's son. Just started a channel, got 42 subscribers. He's doing some shorts. Oh, that's another thing I got going on here today. I got a new camera. And I put it in a different position. This one has a wide I can't think of the word, but anyway. I think it's a little clearer. I don't know how the sound is. Is the sound okay? It seems like it seems like the microphone on this works better than the other one. But see, at work, I have this like point system where you get points for doing things or whatever, and then you can buy stuff. And they gave me a warning about my points are running out, so I had to go spend them. Sounds good here. Thanks, JB. Hey, I found it too. Brooks a Million. Thanks, Dean. I keep forgetting about you guys. You got that ability to do that. When I worked for the CDC, I kept getting the laboratory confused with the lavatory. So look at that. See, you guys underestimate this unfinished project, dude. Look at that. You worked for the CDC. Sounds good here. He's a smart character too. It seems like he knows everything. I don't know. There ain't too much we stumped him on yet. Who's that? Is that Auto Salvage Outlaws? Hello, ASO. What's that, a cowboy? Yeah, it is. It's a cowboy emoji. Yeah, there you go. The chemicals go into a laboratory, and in a laboratory, them chemicals go out. Unfinished project. He made cheese dip cups. The CDC, get it? Cheese dip cups. That's not the real ASO. He's dead. No, I saw something on the YouTubes where somebody else has been bugging him. Salvage got one eye open and one eye closed, so that means he's half asleep. What's that? You law. Hope your eyes are good. Had any bacon? That looks like bacon. I loves bacon. Hey, there's Does Nothing Special. Hello, Does Nothing Special. Fucking A. He does. Southern Batman. UP was the star today. See, I blocked all his stuff, so I guess I don't get to see that. Maybe I should open it back up again. I need to keep my mouth shut. I so wished he was half asleep. Now, I just woke up at 5:30. I took a nap, 2 hour nap, power nap, 2 hours. Jerking his chain. We're okay. Defending you, Auto Man. Jerking his chain. We're okay defending you, Auto Man. Auto Salvage. Atla. UP plays a mean accordion. Let's see the video, UP. You don't have to put your face. Just put you can put the video from here down. Just the accordion going. Hey, ladies. Hello, Rich. Good to see you, Rich. How you doing? And Tim Windsor. Hello, Tim. Hey, Rim. Or he means Tim. Tim, howdy. I wonder how many subscribers Tim got. 545. Do I see a couple videos on there? Yeah, I do. Copy, paste. There's the Tim Windsor channel. Right here. Oh, Mofo Driver. Hello, Mofo Driver. It's not your mama, Rich GT 350, but I love the Beasties. Oh, I'm not your mama. Yo, Mofo. Prayers for Tim. Prayers for Tim. We're praying for you, Tim. I don't know what's going on, but whatever for, I'll pray. There's Mofo Driver link too. Thank you there, Unfinished Project. Appreciate that. And now here's Never Bored. What the buck? Sup, everyone? I saw he had a video. I didn't get to see the video, but he looked like he's building a dirt race truck. A dirt race truck. I don't know. For some odd reason, I see Never Bored and Does Nothing Special. I think they're the same channel, but they're not. UP's still at work. Prayers for Brother Tim. Never Bored? Hey, brother. Getting ready for racing. Oh, he's getting ready for racing. Okay. See, that's what happens when you don't watch the video. You don't know what's going on. I haven't done much YouTube stuff at all. I get tangled up in them shorts. 13 hours in already. My God, God bless you. Well, I should talk because I got in the last 2 weeks. I think I have 44 hours overtime. No, Buck. Never Bored actually puts out good content. Uploading another one right now. Cool. I'll try to. Well, a lot of times I come home late at night. I have a TV and I watch YouTube on the TV. So I don't get to. I can watch the video. I can like it, but I can't comment when you're on TV. Put my car away for winter. Yeah, it's that close, isn't it, Rich? It is. And I keep thinking, is it going to be warm until December this year? I don't think so. I think we're going to get a lot of snow this year. That's just my feeling. Hope not, but I think we are. Morning, all. There's a fire ban here today, so I can't light the barbecue. Hello, Slimo. Okay, Tim. Thanks for letting us know. Don't know if I told everyone. I went yesterday for CT scan for possible lung cancer. Found some nodes in my lungs, but not cancers. Also had skin cancer, which was removed yesterday also. Oh, well, God bless you, Tim. Hope all turns out well. Get well soon. I had that. Well, they moved a lump from my foot one time. They had no clue what it was, and I had to go here, go there, and then all this. Oh, it's benign. You're okay. And I never heard anything again. Tim, you rock. Yes, cold and rain. Time to let it go for the winter. Always in my prayers, Tim. Everyone hit the like button for Buck. Thanks, Mofo. I'm going to go do it myself. Hey. Mr. and Landon have the standard best process for wishing you well. Tim Windsor. Mine was under my right eye. Wow. JB's going to get a burger. Anybody want anything? Put your order in now. They'll be listening. Oh my God. Should I even read that one? Like button. Dang it, I've been hitting the lick button. Hey, there's Buster Radio. Hello, Chris. Hang on. Got a visitor. Hello, John.
Howdy.
How you doing today?
Reasonably well.
Good. How's the weather down there?
Suspects.
You
I
guys
see
have
the
rain
usual
today?
suspects in here. I see Chris, an unfinished project, and
Yeah.
Ofo driver, the Dougster, and Landon, and Frank McCart Riveter and F100. Auto Salvage, Rich GT350R, the Rich. What's going on?
Yeah, the Rich. And JB's going for a hamburger. That's why Dougster wants onion rings and a large orange drink.
Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly.
Yeah. Hello, Max.
Gentlemen.
It's been a blah day here. There's
Hello,
Max's
Tim. Tim, I hope that you get good lab results, and regardless of what they are, you know the drill. You do what you're supposed to do, and do your part. And, you're in control of your destiny, man.
Buck will allow just about anyone in here.
Just about.
Just about.
Buck has standards, and I definitely know where the floor is. That's about it.
Yeah, I just heard stories about that lad is up to it again.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There's Frank.
He said the fire department called on Linda. Chris, we actually give the minor fire department a heads up about that burnout competition because they get the phone rings off the hook about a fire next to I-55 if we don't. Well, it does anyway, but they know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because we do our burnout competition at night under the lights, there's this lit column of smoke right next to I-55.
Yeah.
And so we have to call them and tell them, hey, guys, this is going on. These are the hours we want you to know.
Buck doesn't have any standards. He made me a mod. Rich is a good mod. Yeah, somebody just asked me, I think they asked me, did I get that motor running yet? I said, no, I didn't. I only put the motor in there to as a test fit. Make sure everything, and the motor mounts. I gotta drill 6 holes for the motor mounts. But I have a bare block I can use now. I just wanted to put the mass in there to see how it was gonna fit. Looks pretty good. Exhaust and all is gonna be fine. Won't be long though. As soon as I stop working overtime, I'll have more time to get back at it. Found me a 400 big block for the CUDA.
Cool.
Yeah,
What year?
It's a 77 out of a W300 fire truck.
Cool.
Supposedly. It's only a 2-barrel, so it's only the 185 horsepower one. But
which heads does it have?
I don't know. I didn't pick it up yet. I'm supposed to go for it tomorrow morning.
That'll be a good one. That's a really good foundation.
So I don't know. I don't even know if the 2-barrel carburetor comes with it or not. If it does, I'll probably just put it in the way it is and get it running. And then go from there.
That's the biggest engine they ever made with a 2-barrel.
Yeah,
and that's not even easy to find. Most of them were 4-barrel.
Right.
But you're not using any of that anyway, so.
No, I did see a set of 516 heads that were reasonable anyway. Because a lot of people want a lot of money for that stuff. And I thought, well, I could probably put those on and then find a 4-barrel intake and go that way.
The thing about the 400, I love the 400. It's definitely my favorite big block. It just rules. But the thing about it that always saddled it, being a Smog era motor, it came out in 71.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. I was thinking unfinished project when you said the W300.
Yeah.
The pistons are so far down in the hole.
Right.
Like there is no amount of decking, head milling, or anything you can do to get a real amount of compression out of them. But that said, even with that crazy low 8-to-1 motorhome compression, you'd be surprised a good set of heads and cam and all will do. And most people, when they go to put real pistons in them, just do the stroker. And that solves that at the same time. But those are great engines. I've made comparisons, and some people see it, and some people don't. Some people say I'm crazy. Some people say it makes sense. I think of them almost like the small block on steroids, and the reason is because it has such a short deck height and such a short stroke. It only has 70 thousandths more stroke than a 318 or 340, and it has almost the same deck height exactly. It's less than 4/10 of an inch of deck height difference in a small block. It just has massive bores.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Max, I'll give you a call and we'll do that. Yeah. Two's better than one anyway. I might have two 400s.
There you go. That's two more than I have.
Yeah. Because he wanted that 440 block because I didn't know if I was going to use that or not.
I wanted to get the 400 that came out of my grandparents' 76 Fury, and unfortunately, it's going to sit and rot in my uncle's building until the estate sale after my cousin's lifetime. So
yeah,
I'll never see it. And that's a shame, but it's I would have done some kind of cool tribute to the grandparents with it.
Well, this engine transmission comes with it too, and it's supposed to have 42,000 miles, which I'll know once I get it, but or we'll find out.
Tell you the truth, the mileage thing, I don't think matters much anymore. All this stuff is so old that
right. And that's what I said. The mileage really doesn't matter, but if it is that low, you should be able to see it. Once I'm gonna have to change the oil pan anyway. And
is the truck 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive?
It was a 4-wheel drive W300. The W is 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that transmission I should only have to change the rear shaft and the output shaft and the tail housing, right?
Oh yeah, you're still taking it completely apart though.
Right? Yeah. I would probably attempt to put new seals and stuff in it.
But the donor parts you get are going to be with whatever core you find. So you just build that core.
Yeah, I got.
If you're going to do a 727, which I'm guessing you are, right?
Yeah. That's what I have.
Okay, so there's two ways to go. You can go 76 and up, at least then, if you want to go to like a bigger front planetary, like a steel one or something. But now, Cope has changed that. He now has a reasonably priced billet steel planetary for the 60, 62 and up. So really, any of those 727s that are modern aluminum case, you have the same options for. The only thing I never really liked about the 727 is they all have aluminum pinion carriers.
Right. Yeah. My other one has aluminum.
They all do. Even the Hemi cars did.
Yeah.
But
so both of those transmissions that I have should be 77s.
Yeah. It's a good year.
So, and I thought, well, I didn't think I could probably just take all the parts out of that one and put it in the one I have, or just put a shaft in that one. I don't know. I'd have to take it apart anyway. So either way.
Dean, did I get my math right? Is it 0.397 more deck height and 70 thousandths more stroke?
70 thousandths more than it's 273. Hey, there's Junkyard D. And old McDonald had a car. Yeah, I was reading up on it a little bit. A lot of people like those 400s because of short stroke and a big bore.
Well, the short deck height lets you have the shorter intake runners, and that's preferable if you're doing something really high RPM. But really, the bigger reason for us to do it is it fits better.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
You can do more too with your combination with piston and rod, which is a big thing, because now you get really short pistons, a lot less money than what you used to be able to.
Okay.
So I don't know. It already has more deck than it needs at 9.97. I think the 440 had way too much deck at 10 3/4 inch. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah. But I also heard that I think it was Ron Ward said that, you can put a 383 crank in there, and then you don't need the weights.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, neutral balance 383 crank. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw one of those too. It's all torn
Now,
apart.
if you're going to keep it 400 inch, that's pretty wild. I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, a build I liked was one that one of the West Coast guys did. He turned down the crank journals to think to a 2 inch, like a small Chevy journal, and made a 426 stroker.
Wow.
In a 400 block. And it necessitates getting a 2-inch journal rod. But I thought that was pretty cool. I actually liked how he came up with that.
Yeah, because I also thought that that the stroker kits, I think they're about $2,800 or something like that. But Max says they go faster stroke to a 440 than a 440 does.
And the short pistons, it's all relative. Everything is a trade-off, right? Everything is a trade-off.
Well, I would like to just get it. If it's good enough to put together and get it running, I'll put it in there and just
make it run and go.
Yeah, make it run and drive around, and then do stuff later. Build up some cash.
Absolutely.
Build up some cash and then do something with it. Give myself some time to come up with an idea.
Put some clean oil in it, and put some clean oil and a 4-barrel and some headers on it, and run it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Put as little didn't pay a whole lot for it, so. Oh, he did. I said that one. Okay. Exhaust. What do you say? Exhaust intake, open header, Dean. By the way, I do have chicks. A small block will take me faster than I need to go. Refill the torque. I never heard of that one. You ever hear that one, John?
No, I haven't. That's odd.
Yeah.
I just let it run and check it in neutral hot and see what I get. I was off by what, 10 thousandths, Dean, on the deck. There you go. Something you can get out of a book that benefits you nothing by knowing off the top of your head.
But that puts me ahead of the game now, that's for sure. Unless it's all, he said it spins over, the oil looks good, tranny fluid looks good. But could have some rust in the cylinders. I don't know how long it's been sitting. But even so, if it spins over, that rust will go out the exhaust.
It's the thing about math. It's good to know math, but math is something you can get out of a book. So math is only as good to know as knowing you either do or don't know how to do it. If you know you don't know how to do it and you know to go to the book, then you're good, right? That's the thing about math. It's not special to do math. It's just a remember specs, same thing. If you know you don't know them and go to the book, then you're on equal playing field, because real life is open book.
Can someone get me up to speed?
You need some nitrous?
Yeah.
Get you up to speed running lighter pistons?
He was getting faster and faster as he was going down there.
Yeah.
No, but first responder, I found a 400 big block for the CUDA. So I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I only seen pictures of it.
If you don't know math, if you know you don't know math, you can check your math by going to the book. I saw something today that just blew my mind. I was watching this clip. Some woman, it's come out my YouTube suggestions. This woman was calling, she was calling, what was that, Dave Ramsey's show about getting scammed on buying a car.
Uh-huh.
And she said, well, I took the word of this guy who I go to church with, and he said he worked with the dealership and said the car was $25,000. And then 2 days later, I drove it somewhere and was frustrated because it broke down and found out it was 30-some thousand. And she said, and I went to the credit union and I took out a loan that was $38,000. I'm like, how do you not know that you went and took out a loan for $38,000? On what planet does that mean the car costs 25? I mean, math is just math, but having any sense is a whole other thing.
Well, I don't know how many.
She should know what she doesn't know and sit down with a piece of paper and figure it out.
Yeah, you've been scammed. Hi, Justin. Pure Pontiac. Hello, Pure Pontiac. I must have missed you coming in here. But I had a counter person at, I think it was at Rudders or something like that, a gas station. And I said, well, you owe me, say, $2.56 change. I did the math for her because she messed up the register. And she says, I can't find my calculator. I messed up the register. I said, it's $2.56 or whatever. I said, it's simple math. She said, I save math for when I need it. I thought that was
I love
funny.
math. Math is amazing.
I always liked math. And then I got into college, and then I thought, man, I'll breeze right through that math. Nah.
The four most powerful forces in the universe are fire, water, women, and compounding interest. And you can really study the compounding interest. It's amazing what people actually pay for things when they start paying interest on stuff.
Yeah, my sister got me into the habit of. I hate it when I have to pay interest, but I try to pay stuff off before I have to pay a lot of it.
So I sold a couple of houses last month.
Uh-huh.
The house was $225,000. They borrowed $11,000 in closing cost for $236,000. They financed it for 30 years at something like 7%. And I did the math, and I said, you're going to pay $666,000 on this house if you stay in it 30 years and pay it off. I mean, that'll keep them poor forever.
Yeah. Does nothing specials can count the potato.
Whereas that guy's brother, I sold a house. He's going to clear about $90,000 on it when he sells it. Sat on it for 8 years. He'll clear 90, put 90 down on something else. Look how much he's preempted in 9 years. Meanwhile, these guys are going to pave on it for 5 years, and all they will have recovered is the closing costs they borrowed. They won't even have any equity in 5 years. They're talking about trading up in 5 years. They won't even have any equity. Knowing math is a big deal, or at least being willing to sit down with your calculator and write it down and work on it.
But is that what interest is up to, 7% now?
About 7.5, yeah.
Yeah, because when I bought my house, it was like 3.6.
Turbo Tom, that's the way to go.
Cash from my house. I need to stop buying cars, and maybe I can pay my house off sooner.
I have 4 of them, and 2 of them still have tiny mortgages. I'm knocking those out. And when those get knocked out, I won't have any more. And if I buy another house, it will be cash. Car loans go up to 20 years on what? That's insane.
Wow. You'll never
Dude.
It'll be wore out by the time you pay it off.
What has a 20-year note? Is it like a commercial vehicle or something? Like a heavy truck. I mean, I know a friend who has some wreckers that cost $500,000.
Yeah.
And you ought to see the tow bills that people pay when he goes and gets them out of ditches with them. But
Yeah.
what has a 20-year car loan? New cars and trucks?
I thought
20 years?
7 years was a lot. And
That's
then they have like a
insane.
10-year too, but
I've never had a car loan in my life. I don't think there's, I mean, to
Yeah.
me, there's no reason to.
I said years ago I wanted to buy a new car someday, and I've changed my mind since. I don't need to buy a new one.
I don't
Yeah,
want to buy
okay.
anything the year starts with a 2. But that aside, I don't want to borrow on it. 7 to 11%. But it's not just the interest rate, it's that 20 years. Why would anybody want a debt like that around that long?
Imagine the interest you paid on that.
Road tractors paid off in 3 to 5. Well, that makes sense. Is that what the 20-year loan is on, a road tractor? Yeah, old McDonald, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I'll tell you who's really getting hit right now are these people that took out all this massive student loan debt. Because now they're starting to have to pay it back. And I was talking with a lender just last week. I said, what happens to these people if these loans payments are starting back? Because we have to get them qualified to buy houses. And he said, well, we used to be able to qualify them at 0.5% of the balance as a placeholder in their debt. He said, but now we got to count the entire payment because the payment's coming back. Well, that might be 2 or 3 times that placeholder amount. So now they don't qualify anymore. Unfinished projects, the truck I was in today cost over $350,000. Oh,
yeah.
Yuck.
7-year ache.
That still is crazy amount of money.
Oh, here you go. 20-year car loans are for people who pay off credit cards with credit cards.
100%.
Well, we were just talking about that today. I said I have credit cards. I said, but the most I've ever had my credit card up to was like $6,000. And then there's another guy at work. He's like close to 40. I'm like, how could you get that high? I don't understand that one.
Well, I can tell you now, I've done that before when the real estate market completely crashed back in 2008, 9, 10. And I worked my way out of all of it. And, that's it. That's what you do. You work your way out of it and you learn from it.
Right.
They're not screwed with this economy, but they're screwed if they don't learn how to manage their money. And I'll tell you, it's a lot harder for them. I'll give you that. It is harder for them.
Yeah, I wanted a new truck, but $90,000. Hell no. Yeah.
$90,000.
Yeah.
I remember when $90,000 was a really nice house. And I would think, man, who lives in these?
Ron Kirkpatrick. Hello, Ron. Nice to see you. Probably new here, but my motto is to pay as you go. And you never know.
I agree.
Tony's Hot Rod. Hello, Tony. What the buck?
There's a person we all know that we don't need to mention who keeps talking about, can't afford his mortgage and losing his house. And I'm thinking, you have smoked the entire value of that house. And I get it. We all do things we shouldn't, but man, I wouldn't smoke to the point of not having a roof over my head. I can tell you that.
Well, that looks like a CUDA in that Ron.
It's choices.
Icon there. Go ahead, John.
Well, I'm just saying it's choices.
Oh, new F-250 is $90,000.
Auto Salvage says his credit's not very high, but not buying until rates go down. Doesn't matter what your credit is. Doesn't matter what your debt is.
Buy. We can refinance.
Right. But you can't refinance. You can't refinance it away. All you can do is restructure.
Just remember, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. I found that out this week.
There's a fountain of information on the internet, and some of it is just
Right.
pure garbage.
Yeah, you got to weed your way through it. That's all. I use it as a guide.
Some subdivisions. Yeah, you know what? I had one time. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. Obviously, I don't mention anybody's names. And plus, this was close to 20. No, it wasn't 20 years ago. This would have been in 2013. It was 10 years ago. There were some people whose property I looked at who were wanting to do a short sale. And a short sale is when the market is low, you can't sell the house for enough to cover what's owed on it, right? And I think they owed close to $200,000, and the property was worth about $169,000. And they had to do they have to do a hardship letter, and it has to be accompanied by this itemized expense thing telling what your debts are and what your budget is. And you fill that out and you put a hardship letter saying why you can't repay it. And then sometimes the bank will accept that lesser amount and forgive the balance of the debt. Well, these people gave it to me with the hardship letter, and it was pretty straightforward. We can't repay because of X, Y, and Z. We're not working, whatever. But then the itemized thing, I'm glad they weren't watching when I read this. My jaw about hit the ground. They had 2 vehicle payments that were, one of them was a brand new Dodge truck that at that time was over $50,000.
Yeah.
So that's like a $90,000 truck today. And he wasn't working. He was working under the table, getting a check somewhere, some kind of government check, disability check, and he was working somewhere under the table. She wasn't working at all. She was getting a check, and she was driving a 3-year-old Mustang that was $40,000 financed to the hilt. And they had other stuff too. And I'm like, and you're asking the bank to forgive your debt when you're spending on it like this? That's crazy. And I'm thinking, I couldn't in good conscience say that that's right.
No, I wouldn't think that's right either.
Which is crazy. Just crazy. I can't imagine. You think about it. Some of these people have $1,000 a month car payment. $1,000 a month finances like about $160,000-$170,000 worth of house. Seriously, you could take that exact same amount instead of putting on a vehicle and put it on a house and own that much house for it.
There's Ron Kirkpatrick's link if you guys want to check his channel out. I'm already subscribed. People do far worse than that.
I know a guy like that, a friend of mine. He makes a great income. He's an executive with a company you've all heard of. He makes a good 6-figure income. And regularly we're talking, and he's like, oh, man, he can't afford to do this, can't afford to do that. I'm thinking, dude, you finance a new truck like every year. And he's like, it's on this revolving door of vehicles. I'm like, how in the world? Well, no wonder you can't do anything.
Yeah. I remember my brother used to lease a vehicle every year. So you're gonna have a payment anyway. Might as well just lease it. I'm like, I never heard anything good about the vehicle.
So he's driving. I don't know what he's driving now, because when I don't see him for a couple of months, he's probably driving something else. Seriously. The last time I saw him, he was driving a Chevy Duramax quad cab, 4-wheel drive, 3/4 ton truck. It's never hauled anything in the back but a loaf of bread. And the guy was, his payment was, I don't know what it was, $800 some a month. I'm thinking that CRV has cost me, including maintenance and repair and the cost of buying it, $1,000 a year. And he pays almost that a month.
And
yeah. I'm getting way more fuel mileage and getting everywhere I need to go.
Yeah.
It's just craziness.
Pasta rocket. Oh, pocket rockets. I live in these prestigious neighborhoods and have no furniture in their houses. Oh,
Yeah, house prices shot up. The house prices, though, they're definitely leveling off hard here. I'm seeing that for sure. They were crazy until last spring, and they've stabilized over the year, and now they are on the downhill. They're not coming down to where they were, but they're definitely not like they were. You're starting to see a little bit more reason come back.
this neighborhood.
Tony
Yeah.
is right. That's nothing wrong. Of course, see, I'm into real estate, so I would want to stick that 800 a month in something brick and mortar. That's just me.
Yeah.
Although every Mary Miller like tenant I have makes me less wanting to do that.
It costs only a little more to go first class. It was priceless to see Dust Devil worried about getting man-hugged by a half-cut Kiwi. Later, I bought my car used, but had a 22-month payment plan. Yeah, I got all mine home. Well, I had all mine paid off. I bought that trailer, and I had to get a loan for that. But I'm paying extra on that. I usually pay stuff off way before it's over. Real estate taxes went up this year. Oh, his did. Yeah. I'm waiting for that too. 10%. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my health insurance, they said the deductible is going to go up a tiny amount. It went up $250. I'm like, man, yeah, I guess it's a tiny amount to $1 billion company. Or that, John, anything but stupid car payment. You didn't have to. You wanted to. Those specials out of debt. The last one was for my pickup. Town half. Paid off 4 years early. I run out every out of town trash loads from home. Well, Ron, the coon is outside under a tarp right now. Not a tarp, but a car cover. I'm working on the buck, the Skylark. I'm putting a 455 in there, and the CUDA. I found a big block 400, and supposed to go pick that up tomorrow. So the CUDA will be coming back into the video stages probably in January.
First responders, spot on.
Some told he would like a 10K a year raise and wish his health was better because of all the doctor bills are expensive. I told him to quit smoking. Yeah. Frank says too much when you ask the vehicle price and they will only tell you the per month payments. Yeah.
Yeah.
All they need is a reason to stick their hand in your pocket. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The CUDA. The box trailer sitting down the street, been sitting at 10-15, need to ask about it. I wonder what's in the box trailer. There's dancing along with rentals. Buck for vice president? No. I said president. But the waitress asked for
Buck, why not? It pays really good. And apparently you don't have to be any more than a bucket of sand and a stick to do it.
Well, that part I could do, but I really no. At work they've been asking me to be a supervisor for a couple of years now. I'm like, no. Now you guys you keep that because when I punch out, I hand the stick off to the next guy and I go home. You get supervisor, you got that phone that goes with you. I don't need that. I've been down that road. I'll stay right where I'm at. I got a couple more years to go, and I'll be done.
Right on, Auto Salvage. Who knows? Maybe it'll turn the corner for you. Hope you get better soon, man.
Yeah, wish you well there, Auto Salvage. There's Dancing Alone with Rentals link in case you guys want to check him out. Well, I used to take slot machines and carnivals.
Well, that's a good money maker for the house right there.
What's that?
Slot machines.
Oh,
never in my life I think we would see slot machines here like we do. Virginia legalized gambling, and I really hated that because the libertarian in me wants to say, yeah, we should be able to, but man, I know what it brings. And
right.
They're actually going to, I don't know where they are in the progress of this thing, but it's been approved to demolish the mall at Bristol and put in a casino. Yuck.
Unfinished product says you smoke, quit. And Ron said he saw a 34 Plymouth Coupe for sale. Serious project along Route 28 north of Kittanning. I'm heading out that way around Thanksgiving.
Building the casino in Danville? Okay. That figures.
Well, that's what they did here too, John. In Pennsylvania, they brought the gambling here, like the casinos and some places have the slot machine. And but they did that because they were gonna lower the property taxes by doing that, but they never did.
No, they never. That's never a thing.
Right. Well, that was their talking point.
I know that what's going to bring is it's going to bring a whole lot more people going bankrupt and getting addicted to sports betting and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's just, I don't think it's going to be good for people. It's going to be good for the house. That's who it's going to be good for.
Building a casino in Danville, Pennsylvania.
I've seen the casinos in Las Vegas, and I'm thinking that stuff did not get paid for by people who go there and win.
Right. Yeah, the house always wins. I mean, when I had the bar and restaurant, we had the poker machines, and they were always set to. I think they were set to pay 28% out or something like that. So you were always they were there to make money. Some people would win, but most people would lose. I'm writing Ron's name down here so I can remember when I go out there. Maybe I'll get a hold of him and stop in and see him.
So I can tell you in about 10 seconds my entire Las Vegas gambling career. Check this out. I get off the plane at McCarran Airport the first time I ever went there. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking through there with a bag on my shoulder, and I see two rumpled up $5 bills on the ground underneath the first slot machine I'd ever seen. And without even stopping, I reached down as I'm walking, picked them up, stuck them in my pocket, and kept going to the baggage claim. Yeah. And that's my entire experience. I'm $10 ahead to this day. I'd never seen a slot machine before that.
I did. I was out in Vegas a couple times, and then I think I won like $360 one time. Put $50. Went there with $50, walked out with $365, went back 2 hours later and lost it all.
Ron Kirkpatrick, it's changed a lot since then. I can tell you that. I know that I think it's Mandalay Bay. The casino there is 3 acres and change under roof. And MGM has a 4-acre casino. 4 acres of casino. And it's the main floor of the building. So if you've never been there, like you have to walk through it to get back and forth to your room in the hotel. And you look at that, and you think that anybody prospers on that business except the people who own it. You are wrong.
Another fun to embezzle out of. Yep.
Well, Mater, poker's got a skill component to it. And poker is only a small part of what they do in the casino. There's a reason why you don't have casinos dedicated to high stakes poker. It's like an attraction, because if they did, it would be a little dicier.
Atlantic City lost $100 or so. I spent the next 100 on tools. And quit even sooner than losing.
Oh my gosh. Look at Max Wedge there.
Is that
an extra? You have 50.000. You're not talking about 50,000, are you? On machine. Are you talking about 50 grand?
He flew 50 grand easy in the last year. I could see that happening. The one guy I worked with, he used to, it was like just in lottery tickets every day, it was like $200 on the 3-digit number. I mean, he would hit every now and then, but
gosh,
50,000. Hello, Wendy.
50 grand last year. You know how much money that would turn into?
Yeah, how about it? And Rich says, "I'll bet you I can quit gambling
like that." I mean, if he took 50 grand out in the driveway and he set it on fire a little bit each day, he could at least watch something burn. I would think that would be more exciting than just watching an electronic machine tell me I don't own it anymore. You can't take it with you, but you can leave it to somebody who needs it.
Yeah. That's why they feed you free liquor.
Who needs it? The casino? I can think of a whole lot of people I'd rather give it to the casino.
I worked up range most of the time, worked at a place, TV shows. A bunch. What? Oh, that's a Dean says, "Be my 8, I'll be your number 777." Ron.
Yeah, the games with skill components, they obviously have to pay out more for that. But then there's a lot of them that are, purely luck. And of course, they know the odds, they know the payouts, and they count on the income from those, and they get it.
Yeah, I never had that luck doing that.
That guy's got a problem, a bad problem.
He'll win $2 grand and be broke next day.
A bad problem. Because you can be up and you can be down. But when you're down, you don't get the credit to go back up so much. That's crazy. So Max Wedge, does he fly out to Vegas and get his rooms comped so they can get him there gambling? Does he do that? Because a lot of really hardcore gamblers like to do that.
It's for the greater good, John. The government will use it wisely to care for those that are less fortunate.
Yeah, there you go. With a small handling fee.
Yeah. Half.
Cool.
Senko air gun last month and gave it away.
I haven't won too much stuff. Not gambling, but like I've won some prizes at shooting matches before and stuff like that, but I'm not into the whole gambling thing.
Yeah, Tony says if you won $2 grand, he'd be calling Summit.
No plays, machines, and Unimarts. This guy's just going to a local retailer and sitting down at those machines in the comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
That people have to catheter up and put their Depends on to sit in all day. Those Petri dish chairs, and that's what that dude's doing all day.
Yeah.
That is wow.
And they're the machines that are set to pay out 28, 30%, 25%. Yeah, they could set those machines what to pay out.
But I'm not putting all that money in a vehicle first responder. You can see that. I mean, in the machines, you don't have any payout to go with it. You can't sell it for anything later either.
Yeah.
Put the money in a vehicle, you've got some equity in it, hopefully.
All right. And buying cars is enough of a gamble. Sometimes you win, sometimes you not so bad, not so good. Yeah, it all depends on the vehicle. I mean, if you're going to buy foolishly, then you might not get your money back out of it or get close to it. I know I'll never get my money back out of the buck, that's for sure. But I had a hell of a good time putting it together.
Huh. I had a guy one time, I was writing a contract for him to buy a house. And just like something out of a movie, he said, I can't afford the deposit, right? The deposit was $1,000, a good faith deposit. And the phone rings and he goes and gets the phone. And that morning he'd been to a car dealership and entered a contest to win his choice of a big screen TV or $1,000. The phone rang and he won it while we're writing the contract.
Wow.
And the guy said, you know what? I want to put in the contract without a deposit and see if they'll take it anyway. I want to keep the big screen TV. And that's what he did. And that guy wound up not getting the offer on that, buying something else. I think he wound up getting hammered when he sold it. He wound up on a calamity ride, but it was interesting. Well, first responders, some people's hobby is getting body piercings too. I mean, we don't think whatever they do is weird. I mean, you told your guy if he wanted a $10,000 raise to quit smoking. Was that his hobby?
Take all you can, give nothing back. Respect and not judge. To a limit. For me, anyway. Well, Tony, I didn't buy my car as an investment, but the price went through the roof. I still drive and enjoy it.
Yeah, I remember that about that guy. And he's one of these guys that didn't get the memo that the 80s was over and would wear these really short red shorts. It's just like, dude.
He had a worse hobby, dirt track. Well, I had a hobby of buying Snap-on tools for so many years, but I still have them. I didn't have to spend that much, but I did. Spent 116 grand in 4 months. Still have max wedge. Michigan versus Michigan State is on. Time to go drive myself insane. All right, old McDonald. Thanks for stopping in. Dancing alone likes judging. Wants to be a Supreme Court justice. There was one. Dean, where's that mortgage money by Friday? It went into a low carb diet. What's wrong with dirt tracks? No, he does dirt tracks. My point exactly, Rich. I don't buy or build my cars with the expectation of coming up on the deal. I used to sell cars though, but I always tried to get my money back out of it. But when you buy it and then keep it for 7 or 8 years, you're never going to get your money back out of it. Today I have a 2020 GT3 Heritage Edition. Was offered $40K over the first week. I owned it. She's a keeper for me. Yeah, how about that? Remember that was going on, or is that still going on? They were buying cars back because they couldn't get any. Gold Wolverines. $3K for a body that doesn't last 3 races. He's on his third. I told him he could see a lot better if he didn't have the smoke in his face.
That's his hobby. Don't take his hobby from him. Max Wedge, I'm curious. The guy that jumps 50,000 a year, he loses 50,000 a year on slots. Like, what ratio is that? Do you have any idea of what he like? If that guy makes, like 500,000 a year, and he's a doctor, it might be a crazy hobby, but it would be more in line with what he can afford, I guess.
Selling cars are probably a different story, though, Buck. Yes, it is. But I still have that in me. Buy a car and sell it.
Dancing Alone with Reynolds. I've always thought for looking at the high court, we should be looking at people like defense attorneys too. Like, people who are experienced career attorneys, because there would be some diversity on the bench, and there's not. Now it's either a Harvard or a Yale degree and nothing else. I think that creates an element of institutional inbreeding in our court that we need to get out. And we would get that if we had different means of appointments, like experienced trial lawyers.
Oh, that's what that was. He said Doug Stern, and he said Tony. Now, Rich says, if I can find a 66 GT350 reasonable, I'd have both of them parked in my living room. Have to beef up the floor.
My uncle found a safe somewhere. I don't know where this thing came from, but it was huge. And he put it in the house when they were building it, where these 2 double doors were. And then he went home, and one day he came, but they were still building the house. He came back, and the safe had moved itself from the first floor to the basement. So they fixed the floor and left it right where it sat.
$50K is only $137 a day. Unfinished project.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess if you went and did that, yeah. I guess so. And then if you further do that, if you worked an 8-hour day, that's $17.13 an hour. So if you make $17.13 an hour, there you go. Your entire career.
We need 1 Ford mechanic, 1 Chevy tech, 1 Dodge farmer on the Supreme Court. The rest can be Hooters girls.
It will probably be better than a lot of what we have there now. I think you're right, first responder. I think you're right.
LOL, dancing. I would do that in a heartbeat. JB says, the way to get your money back on a car is to buy it cheap and broken. Spend a few thousand on it and drive it until it falls completely apart. I've been down that road.
You are right, JB, and I have done that with several vehicles. Way ahead.
I've done that most of my life.
There you go. That's the answer right there. There's I think it was Louis Theroux one time did a documentary. He was following around some people at this big casino somewhere. I'm sure it was in Vegas, but I don't know which one. And he was following around these 2 guys who like to fly in for a weekend and spend a huge amount of money and fly back out, right? Like 10 or 20 grand and fly back out. this woman who inherited a bunch of money and just loved to just feed the slots all day, every day. And she went through her entire inheritance. And then this one other guy who was a high roller, and he was, I can't remember what company, but he was CEO of a company and wound up just losing it all. And he's working somewhere else now, but he pretty much gave away all of his equity that he had doing that. It was interesting though, because you got to learn a little bit about the personalities of them and such. It was interesting.
Yeah, I used to do good on the scratch offs. I'd be mainly stayed even for a while, but there for a long time now, I do nothing but lose. But I still every maybe month or so, I'll still buy another one. I was buying them all the time now, and I get tired of losing money.
Yeah, a lot of criminal defense lawyers are bad like that indeed. However, they do serve an important role in the ecosystem.
Sorry, Maters. It seems the Hooters girls just voted and said, "Oh no, that's a rascal again. Not that rascal again." Ron invests in cars and parts.
Precious metals like aluminum heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max Wage said the guy's selling his stuff now. Motorcycle and four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Well, he's lived a life of service to the people who make those machines and presumably rent space in those retail places. Dancing Alone with Rentals, go to a website, car-part.com, and you can look at what all of those sell for with mileages in any part of the country by zip code.
What was that again, John?
It's car and then a hyphen and then part.com. And it basically will give you the junkyard locator on that engine, year, make, model, and by zip code distance. And it gives you prices, and a lot of them have mileages, and you can basically figure out exactly what that thing's worth. Although I'd recommend not using Humdrum for model. I would find out what it is.
That's fortunate. Dean's kicking butt. Chris invests in classic cars as well. To be honest,
I gotta say, a lot of that stuff that we've hoarded for years because we think it's cool has turned out to be a pretty good investment, even when we weren't planning it that way. Man, that's sad. When he sells them, he will
head to the machine.
Pay it all. Yeah, man, that's too bad. That's too bad.
And nobody can help that guy but himself. I mean, you can drag him to Gamblers Anonymous all you want, and
that's too bad.
If he doesn't want it, he ain't gonna get it.
Well, Dancing Alone with Rentals, it's a cultural thing. The Japanese don't want to drive a car with more than 60,000 miles on it. This is why if you look around, you'll see a plethora of JDM Honda engines, Toyota engines on the market with 60 to 80,000 miles for cheap. And that's why. They also don't want to live in a house over 20 years old. The Japanese will tear down a 20-year-old house and build a new one in its place. I kid you not. A friend of mine lived over there for a really long time, came back here for a good while, and moved back over there several years ago. It's crazy. He works at a law firm in Tokyo. I can't even imagine.
When he met a new chick, then go on a buying spree when he kicked them out. Bought a pistol and 2 rifles, cheap. hold muscle will hold its value.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
believe what they're asking for rusted out pieces of junk
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh yeah. That's a whole different deal than financing, new vehicles.
68 GM plants in 80s, West Germany 84. Strikes caused some major changes in how Ford, GM, and Daimler did business. Correct, Rich.
Yeah, Tony used to do, yep, the JDM Acura. Exactly. See, Tony was plugged into that. He knows about that. Yep. That's why I drive an 85 Dodge van.
Yeah, I always liked this to set my way back in high school. A buddy of mine bought a brand new '77 Dodge van, and it was the not the conversion, what they used to call them when they put the carpet and the bed and all in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right from the dealer. The dealer buy the van and send it out, get all this stuff put in, and then they
Cool.
would sell it. And I always liked those vans, shorty van too. I think 318 will run his. That's something. That's about the year he has, isn't it?
He has I think it's a 77 Tradesman he has.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool van. I like it.
Yeah.
He says next year he's going to bring something different. He'll bring probably the Van of War next year, which is a little later model. Unfinished project. I'd look on carpart.com, car-part.com. If you don't put the hyphen in there, it goes to another site that sells new stuff. Car-part.com is like a junkyard locator site. It's a great site. And you get deals on there too. I've bought a lot of stuff that way.
Well, JB, we were talking earlier. They got loans for vehicles now for 20 years.
It just blows my mind. That's got to be like on a commercial vehicle, like on a $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 commercial truck of some kind. Got to be, you'd think.
I want to pay more than 500.
Cool.
Yeah. You got to know when to walk away too.
I wouldn't want a 20-year loan on anything. Okay, Tony's saying that CMV loans, I guess that's, 5 years payments are, yeah. So I guess you got to get that vehicle to work. I guess.
I don't think so. Oh, I should talk. I took a 30-year loan out of my house.
Think about a 30-year loan. Take a 30-year loan off. You can pay it off whenever you want. Which, a shorter note forces it, but still, you can still pay it off. There's nothing wrong. You can pay it off early. I wouldn't give up a low interest rate to refinance it, even if you had more money. I know that. I'd just pay more down on it.
No, I was going to refinance it when the rates were down to 2 something, but I didn't.
What rate do you have now?
3.6.
Oh, that's a great rate.
That's a fixed rate. So, yeah.
I don't know that it would have been worth it. So I'm not going to ask you, what you owe and all that. But what I do is I figure out what it's worth for the closing cost, right? So if you have so much in your closing cost, you have to figure out how much I save a month before, at what year and month will I break even on the cost of the refi. Some people, it's not worth the cost to do a refi. I've got one that's 7%, but it's only $21,000. I'm not going to pay to refi that. I'm just going to knock it out next year.
All right.
Keep the 36 all day.
And usually the extra money that I put in that account, all year long. I pay extra, put it towards the principal at the end of the year.
You can't do it each month.
Yeah, I can if I set it up that way, but
I would.
I haven't
That'd
done
save
that
you a lot
yet.
of money.
I should do that.
It would save you money, yeah, for sure.
I imagine I could set it up that way because they told me if I want to put any extra money on
Definitely.
it, I have to tell them where it's going to go. Or
No,
they'll just,
definitely set it up that way because if you think about it, if you pay extra in January, you're cutting off that interest for the entire length of the loan.
yeah,
See, you're only cutting it off once a year in December.
I got you.
Yeah, you're taking every payment, cutting off the entire. Yeah, you probably save a few months at the end of free payments, free by doing nothing more than changing it from annual to monthly.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because every year because of I have everything taxes, everything paid, so things
yeah,
change. So
cool.
my price either goes up or comes down. Usually, the last 2 years it went up like $8 or something, or $10. That's about it. So
That's in love with Reynolds. That's a funny comment. Bunch of YouTube channel mechanics pulled together. I cannot imagine that many cooks in one kitchen. It would be insane.
I want to paint my car this spring. If I start saving now, buy materials. Yeah, exactly. That's all that crazy. So, Ron, who invited you to No Name Nationals? Don't know
Yeah.
much about it. No Name Nationals is a content creator event where we have drag racing and bracket racing and burnout contests and car show, and we go out to eat and we laugh a lot. We just have so much fun together. It's down in Missouri.
Well, it has been the first 2 years.
Right. But people from all over the country come there. We've had people from Canada. I don't think any other country, though, right, John?
Not yet, not yet. But I'm assuming we'll have some Australians or some Kiwis come eventually.
Right.
It's a blast. If you like the YouTube automotive community, you'll love the No Name Nationals.
Right. Just plug No Name Nationals into your search bar, and you'll see all kinds of videos.
Yeah, Ron. Tony came 3,600 miles round trip to come and race.
Yeah. It's where
And
good people meet and enjoy cars.
Ron, how many subscribers do you have, man?
He has 87 or something.
Okay, to race, you need 500. So if you register, you would be in the No Name 500, which is like the race before the race. And several guys in this chat, including Unfinished Project, Tony's Hot Rod Garage, JB's Little Shop, have all graduated from the No Name 500 and made it.
Yep. Yeah, he has 126.
Including this guy right here.
Yeah. I started out with 24.
And when you're the overall winner of the No Name 500, show him what you win.
Oh. You can't see it. Let me see if I can put here.
Look at that.
That's the Cinderella 2022.
That's it.
People's Choice winner. See, I get the glass slipper. Yep.
Well, Ron, you can always come as a spectator.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to race
online or at the gate.
You don't have to bring a car either. I mean,
no.
You know,
spectator tickets are blast. Every spectator ticket is a pit pass, and you can hang out in the pits and, watch the burnout competition. And Thursday is free for everyone anyway. Cruise to Lambert's, and you can participate in our car show and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, but you'd have a lot of personality going on in that shop. I know a little bit something about a whole bunch of personalities in this community.
Yeah, they might get along well on video, but
the wisdom part is for sure. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah. There's Ron's link there.
Ron Ward says there's not a bad seat. Ron Ward, he's got a great seat from the tower, man.
Hello, Ron.
He sees it going on.
Yeah.
Oh, Ron Ward, I've been meaning to send you some. Glad I'm gonna text you something right now. I've been meaning to send you. I posted it into a text and I forgot to send it because it was late and I didn't want to bother you.
Sounds like unfinished projects. It sounds like a disaster. Mohawk. Hello, Mohawk. Mohawk subbed the wrong. Nice CUDA. Yeah, it is nice. Has that sublime green, I guess it's called.
Ron, I'll tell you what it is. It's Torque Racing Production put up a short, and he said that he had the best race announcer in his short. And I thought it was really cool. You might want to check that out. Torque Racing Production put up a short and mentioned you.
Hey, here you go. All stories from No Name Nationals are positive, and some are funny.
Yeah.
Look at Buck.
So just know that on YouTube, as you know, that 99+% is great, and there's just 1% of just turmoil and drama and nonsense. That stuff never makes it there. So just know that that's all. None of that ever gets in the gate there. There, it's like, it's like all the good stuff with YouTube without any of that.
Yeah. The voice of No
Name Nationals, Mr. Ron Ward.
Yeah, this is Ron Ward here, the voice of No Name Nationals.
There's a good example of talent in our community. I mean,
Hey, unfinished project. Dean, can you guys put these guys' links up, like Mostly Old Parts and JB's Little Shop and all those guys' links up, Tony's Hot Rod, and then maybe Ron could go and look at some of their videos from the No Name Nationals and see what was going on down there. We ate good, we laughed, and then laughed some more.
Yeah, Ron, search hashtag No Name Nationals. All one word, hashtag No Name Nationals on YouTube. There's over 11,000 videos.
Is it 11,000? I always hashtag it every time I put a video out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff, man.
Yep.
We have a burnout competition like no one else.
There's Mostly Old Parts. Thank you, Rick.
So Mostly Old Parts. That's a committee thing. Yes, I'll talk with you about that. There's a reason for that, but I will get with you on that. It is cool. We got a group photo that was taken that Ron Ward took from the bucket on the JLG lift.
Oh, cool. He does mostly 426 Hemi stuff.
How many subs did Ron Kirkpatrick have?
126, but he got a couple now.
He's at 133. That's how the community works, Ron.
Yeah.
You mostly do 426 Hemi stuff. Oh, well, nobody will be interested in that.
Yeah.
No, that sounds cool, man. You got some good stuff going on. Yeah, that sounds great. Just keep watching here. Buck does channel reviews, headed up to the year. And if there's appropriate interest, I'll host, content creator workshops monthly on my channel. And then Friday nights from 8 to 10 Eastern is kind of like the rally point for news and information about the No Name Nationals on my channel. And that's where to come find out about it. We'll probably be announcing the third annual the last Friday of this year. So
right.
That'll be the deal. And we'd love for you to jump in the mix.
Yeah, Ron, you could click on all of these links here. They were all people that had something to do with the No Name Nationals or posted stuff for it. Just Mopar Joe.
Ron Kirkpatrick there. Mostly Old Parts there in the chat is Ron Ward. He is our announcer. He is the voice of the No Name Nationals. So our event has that really cool professional sound and feel, and Ron Ward is a big part of that.
Yeah. So if you hear any if you see any videos and hear the announcer, that's who you're listening to right there. Mostly Old Parts.
Unfortunately, you only get to hear Ron Ward at the event. You're stuck with me, and Buck and Barrows and us other guys who stream the remainder of the year.
And JB and Lars and Tony and Unfinished project. Dean is in every live that I've ever seen.
Yeah, but if you like this community and hanging out, then just imagine us all in person with cars there and fun and racing and burnout debauchery. That's what the No Name Nationals is all about. So if you
Yeah,
like this, you'll love that.
yeah, it's like a family reunion where a drag race breaks out.
Imagine the greater YouTube automotive community. You shear off the bad apples and put them aside that weekend. They're no part of it. So you have only the 99% that are awesome. And you put them all into one place together with all their cars and all the drag racing and a cool dinner venue and burnout competition and all of that. That's what you have.
Poor Boy's Garage. Yeah.
Yeah, poor boy's Brad is there.
Mm-hmm.
He puts on a great show. Brad's a great guy.
He is. He's such a nice guy.
Yes. And that good food, Mohawk was there. Yeah.
I was
Unfinished
just,
Project might show up there one year.
yeah, you never know. You might not know it though, but you'll see it in the videos later.
Most of the old parts says No Name National is not a race, it's an event. It's an event that has racing.
Buck does the best breakfast.
So we have a bracket, we have small tire stuff and call outs and all kinds of fun racing, but it is a full event that features racing.
Well, here's the man to beat now. Torque Racing Pro. I wonder if they'll put a bounty on his head next year.
Torque Racing, he's telling you what, you got to bring the heat to beat Roland. Roland is something. Roland is not only a good racer, but he puts his heart in it. He is a good person. He's a good dude all the way around.
Yep. And Turbo Tom definitely had the oldest car to get on the track.
Yeah, so Ron, if you didn't catch it, Turbo Tom has a 1916 Model T, and he took it down the track. And then we have this video of it. You can see video of it, a 17-second 8th mile in a Model T Ford.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yep, I did a short of that. It was 17.15 seconds.
I'm telling you. It's legit. How many people on Earth can claim that they've made a drag strip pass in a 1916 Model T in a 100-year-old car? There aren't many people on Earth that can say they've ever done that. And Turbo Tom is one of them.
And there's his link. That was cool. That was really cool. He was so happy when he got his 500 too. I thought that was so cool.
He got it by the skin of his teeth. He got it at the event. Yeah. He did it. That's why I tell people when you get close, you can do it.
Yep, he had a smile ear to ear when he got to tell me. He said, "Buck, I got the 500."
Yeah, Rosedale Parts, it's exactly right. He is very impressive at the track, but he's a good, he is a good dude. Roland is a very good dude.
Yep.
Very good person. Let me tell you what kind of person Roland is. When we had, so he was in the 28-10-5 in 2022 just to run for points to win the overall because he was competing for that overall trophy, which he did go on to win. But Roland lucked out because he had made one of the slowest cars in the heads up racing, right? And he got lucky enough to get the buy run. He won the buy run on a chip draw and gave it up to a fellow competitor so that guy could go get his fuel and get back when he missed the chip draw. Now, that takes a real stand-up guy to do, knowing he was probably going to get his clock cleaned in the first round. And he did. Sam had a blistering fast cutlass and beat him. But you know what? That's the kind of guy Roland is.
Oh, John.
And that's the kind of thing that doesn't get told very often that you don't see on YouTube. He's a good dude when no one's watching. Hello, Functional History.
Yeah, got any snow globes?
Mr. Cope. I have saved up in the queue in the top corner of my screen here the valve body video. Been too busy to finish watching it, but I've got it saved in my queue.
Yeah, that one's right. That one's up on my list too. Well, it comes up every time now. But you're talking about the one we have all the
Yeah.
valve bodies in stock.
It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. Transmissions are something that not everybody thinks about, in my opinion, like they should, because they can see four barrels. They can see a lot of this stuff. They can see headers, right? These are visible parts on the engine. You pop your hood and show off. But a lot of what goes on a transmission is kind of voodoo. And things like valve bodies and the right parts make a massive difference in the way your car runs. And I don't think it's always appreciated like it should be. That's just my opinion because I'm a transmission nerd. But
Yeah, I have a few of his videos that I have in the watch later
yeah,
section. Once I start doing that 727.
yeah, I'm telling you that there's a lot to that.
Well, I always liked when you had him on the live, and you guys talk transmissions. And I'm not that fluent in them. I mean, I could take parts out of one, put them in another, put it together, and maybe it'll work or not. But
Cope, we were just talking about what core to use for 727, and I said that your billet gear set for the earlier ones up to 75 made a big difference in which core you could use for something like a trans brake.
that's better stuff. Yep.
What do you run on an 833?
Plus the radio garage. He says 71 and up. Yes, an 833.
Stator for the billet drums.
We use a stator for the billet drums. Oh, is that why you use a 71 and up?
The only thing that I like better about the 727, well, I mean, it is stronger, but the one thing I like better is that they have so much better parts interchangeability. The 904 had way too many little revisions along the way. So to me, my favorite 904 is like one from 1990 out of a two-wheel drive pickup truck. A 999 from say a 90 model pickup truck is as good as it gets.
Well, I also didn't know if maybe because it was a 300 series that the transmission might have better parts in it.
Free pedals, no waiting. My buddy Robert, who died, he was they called him Mr. Four Speed, and my picture for him in my contacts. He's been gone over 5 years, but I still have him in my contacts. Let's see.
Yes, me too, Rich.
There's his contact picture. Real men use three pedals.
Oh,
Hey, Rich, there's everything there. You can come out and you can enter the bracket and call outs or just whatever you want to do.
right. Just go down there and burn some rubber, run down a track, and go park it.
I gotta tell you, most of the old parts. You say, what's the point of having a muscle car if you can't have fun banging gears? That manual valve body with the trans brake. Now that is not your grandma's automatic. I'm here to tell you.
I think we're all understands.
They're 6% recycled, one of the newest members to the 1,000 subscriber club.
Did he hit the 1,000? Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, and Chris, by the way, I've got an address. I got some stickers to send out, and I'll send it to you because I know you wanted to send some stuff out too. So I'll send that to you here right after this live. I got it this morning.
Yeah, I won one of them No Name National banner stickers. Put that on the garage door, I think, or on the side of the truck. I'll see which one it fits. He said next time it's going to be a 250 item giveaway.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
Just in case nobody knows, which everybody on here should know, Buster Radio Garage does a giveaway. Last one was like 184 items he gave away. You got to be a subscriber to win. But there's his link. Go check his channel out. There's his link again. Thanks, Rich. Congratulations on the 1K. I was around 680 subscribers prior. Currently sitting at 755. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is getting real close to the 3,000. He might have hit 3,000 by now.
Yeah, Chris, you're really close.
Yeah, he's been pushing.
There's Twisted Mopar Garage.
Yeah, Twisted Mopar Dennis. I'm sitting waiting to run my second round eliminations at Havana.
Chris is good peeps. Yes, he is. And if any of you haven't seen his video about going to the gas station to redeem some reward points at Shell, that's a good one.
Yeah. I can't believe they come out and hollered at him.
I can. Some people just.
Yeah. Dean says, unless God gave you 3 legs, use an automatic.
Max Wedge, let me tell you, here's the deal. There are people who don't make it the first year in the No Name 500, but think about it. It's October, and you're already almost halfway. You have a massive head start. You'll be a front runner and just coast to it next year. And that's been done before. Most of the old parts, an iPhone. For real. So here's what I do, Ron. I shoot everything with this iPhone, just a little iPhone SE. And then you have this sucker. It's a USB that's designed to go into the iPhone. And then you spin it around and it goes in the USB of your computer.
Wow, I didn't know they had that.
And it holds 256 gigs, so you can put a massive amount of video on it. You plug it in your computer, and away you go.
Is it easy to download onto it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super easy.
Okay.
So it's USB on one side, and it's Lightning on the other. And
yeah, I didn't know they had that.
And I carry this thing when I'm at like an event or something. I carry this in my watch pocket. Ron, I don't wear Crocs either. I wear mud hole stomping shoes. But I do like my little dainty, mocha drinking looking iPhone because it works. I like stuff that works. I carry an iPhone because it works. I carry a Glock because it works. I like stuff that works. I don't pretend to be so sophisticated I can hack into apps and stuff like that.
Well, if you're using an Android, it's even easier to get the files off of it.
Oh, I could do it with AirDrop if I wanted. I could Bluetooth these to my computer. I could hook them up on a hard cable and do it that way. But this is the way I choose to do it because let's say I shoot a bunch of high resolution video and I need more room on my phone. I can quickly put them on this and keep going. That's just my chosen method. But I prefer that to any camera, standalone camera. That's just me. Oh, and if you need a mic, you can hook a mic up to your phone too, and have a mic.
I never tried the Bluetooth to my computer because I just took some video with my phone and I want to transfer it to my laptop. I'll have to see about that.
So Mopar's Mustangs and Minivans is 60 away from 1,000 subs. It's more exciting than watching stocks. Cool.
1,000 yen. Yeah, and JB's only like 18 away, I think. Yeah, he's 18 subs away from 1,000. Make sure we put JB's link up there. Everybody should know JB on here, but you never know.
I gotta send Tony something.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of my older videos being watched now. I'm wondering what, I put a video out, I get 300 or 400 views, right? And then next thing you know, I'm like 4 or 5 subscribers. I'm like, where are they coming from? And then I look and they're watching other videos.
Taurus Judge, how many rounds do you have through that, Rich?
There's JB's little shop link. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that. JB, listen to this one, John. He's the quiet one. Nobody knows him. And Tony's only 109 away.
Well, it makes sense that last year's No Name 500 guys are 1,000 guys now. So yeah.
I remember Barrows put a community post out about Tony's Hot Rod Garage. I think he had like 8 subscribers at the time.
Yeah, I remember when Tony was new.
Yeah.
Of course, not new to doing this stuff, just new to the YouTube thing.
That's
the thing. These guys don't start in their automotive pursuits when they start YouTube. They bring decades of experience to it.
40 longs.
Yeah, but how many have you put through it?
I bust out my eye patch, change my channel name to Captain Max Wedge Dictators. I looked at a Taurus Judge, ended up getting the Taurus PT 1911. I bludgeoned it with it.
So, Ron, I don't know if you do it. I teach firearms, and I used to teach monthly until COVID, and I've taught a handful of classes since then. But I had a guy email me today telling me this big detailed thing about having malfunctions, and he got all down in the weeds with details, and I just replied back. I said, "Your grip sucks." Seriously, that was the entire diagnosis I needed from his explanation. It's interesting doing that, I can tell you. I actually thought about, if people were interested, maybe the Sunday after No Name Nationals, we could have probably with this group, I don't think it would work to have a training class, but we could do some shooting probably work that out. If you guys wanted a good training class, we could do that too. But I thought about it for the Sunday after No Name Nationals, if there's any interest. Well, there is the legendary street racer, B&R Racing.
B&R Racing. Oh, B&R?
Where every day is doomsday. I'm telling you, Brian, you need to put that on a shirt. I can't remember, was it me or you or Ari or someone said that? And you said that should be on a shirt. I said, yes, it does. That would be perfect for him.
B&R Racing link.
Tony, that P365 is a good little piece. I've shot a few of those. So here's the way I shoot. The way I shoot the new stuff that comes out is I just wait till students bring them, and I get to shoot everything when they bring them, And the 365, I've shot a few of them. They're pretty good. They're good pieces. They're made well. They're good stuff.
Cope at 3,500 last week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But he's real creative though, isn't he, John, with his videos?
Yeah, B&R. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to find a guy who could make the shirts. Oh, wait a minute. We have Gunslinger Graphics right here in the chat.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Tony's Hot Rod Garage has Gunslinger Graphics, and he made the fine embroidered staff shirts that you saw me and Ron Ward and Barkley wearing at the No Name Nationals. He made those.
I'm old. Had my stuff for years. Congrats, John. Cope.
Yeah. He earned it. It's a good channel. You sure can learn a lot about transmissions on the Cope Racing Transmission channel. B&R, I've invested a whole lot of my life in firearm training to be better at what I do and what I teach. And, I would be perfectly willing to offer a firearms training class if people were interested. Ron, how do your hands fit a Glock? And question, is that with a two-hand or a one-handed grip because they're different? When you're shooting with a two-handed grip, you're at an angle on a straight firearm. And a one-handed grip, the gun is canted a little differently in your hand, so it changes where your finger positions wind up on the stock of the pistol.
I have to drive home. The truck shuts off my videos when driving. See you boys later. Okay, John, thanks for stopping in.
Later, Cope. Thanks for swinging by.
When the Glock first came out, they were locking up.
Ron, I can tell you this. So I love Glocks, but I know one thing. There's some people who don't like the finger grooves. The finger grooves came in on generation 4. And if you have hands that are way outside of the median hand, which I must have the most average hand there is because the finger grooves perfectly fit my hand. And for people with smaller or bigger hands, they don't. So for you, you might need a generation 3 and down. They don't have finger grooves. Or you can actually take the finger grooves off of a later Glock pretty easily. The other thing, too, is if you have bigger hands, you need a double stack magazine because it makes the grip wider. You would probably like that better. A 1911 has a much narrower stock and then wider grips to try to compensate because it's a single stack magazine.
Night, Mark. Hey, Tony's Hot Rod. I just made you a moderator, so if you want to put your link up for your T-shirts, your merch page, go right ahead. The CZ line of firearms are my favorite.
There's Dakota.
Hey, Dakota. Hello, Dakota. Springfield. Oh, you're welcome, Tony.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Put the goat in a timeout.
Great
right now.
idea, Ron.
This here is Tony's Hot Rod Garage, his shop link. You'll check out his merch. He's got a bunch of T-shirts he's trying to sell.
There we go. I just timed Dakota out.
Did you?
Yeah, Dakota, he's a growing boy. He needs a timeout periodically.
Tony got a Blu-ray. Watch out.
I haven't timed Dakota out in a while. That felt pretty good. Yeah.
Everyone needs an AR-15.
Yeah, Tony does good work. Tony does good stuff.
Yeah, he's creative, isn't he? I like how he did the One-Eye Cats sticker. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then even his own stickers, and his hats are awesome.
Yes. Before Dakota got timed out, he did. He needs that though. It's part of his nutrition.
He's got shirts, hats, and coffee mugs currently in stock. With what I have, the problem is not getting in my house, it's getting out.
Dean, Dakota, let me tell you, I've been timing out Dakota since he was about 15 or 16 years old. And he's named his channel Dakota's Timeout because of that.
Yeah.
Dakota's a good dude.
Yeah. And I didn't realize he was that tall until I met him.
Well, he's a smart young guy, too. He's one of those that's got a lot of great stuff ahead of him.
Dang, it was an integral part of Dakota's nutrition. They took that stuff to the moon, didn't they? Hey, there's a Racer.
Racer A. Heavy barrel Ruger Mark 1. Yeah, that's a good target pistol.
Nathan's Mopar. Hello, Nathan. Last year at the shooting get together, I was given the opportunity to shoot an AR-10. Amazing firearm. Shooting group the size of quarters, 200 yards. Totally impressed. Yeah. Nathan. JB.
Yeah, Creedmoor's.
There's Racer's link.
Caliber sticks around a while, I think. I'm a simple guy with calibers. I like 9mm, 308, 12 gauge, 5.56 and 7.62, 39. Pretty much one of those five will do it, or an airstrike is all it'll help.
Doug's channel. That's one thing I never messed with was firearms. Never had them. Never. I think I went hunting once. Borrowed a gun. That was it.
Yeah, I was teaching real regularly before COVID. And then right when COVID hit, like right as in the beginning stages of it, the fella whose gun shop I used to work out of, I wasn't an employee of his or anything, but he had extra space in the shop that he just said, here you go, man. Here's a room, rent free. And you can set up shop there, just hold classes for my people who come in that want training. And it was great. It was great. I had a great space there. I'm sure I got pictures of it, but I had a good space set up, and I lost that because when it shut down, he had health problems, and he actually retired because of them, and the COVID thing, and so I've been displaced from that regular shop space ever since, and I haven't taught nearly as often because I have to do it remotely and travel and stuff. But
The latest video is now my best performing video yet.
here we go. This is
Thanks for stopping by, Chris. Have a good night.
that's an early view of my classroom right there. That was a good bit of work getting it to that spot. Oh, there's an ancient picture of me teaching too. I didn't even know I had that.
Geez, George, great idea. If I was you, I added to your constitution. Hey, there's a hunter yet too. What the buck? Busted Radio's link. Everybody saying hi to Sand Mountain. Take care, Chris.
Hunter is here. What happens is one of those Dakota or Hunter will come in and the other hears how much fun they're having and they're not far behind.
There's Sand Mountain Ballistics link. Chloe Tebow's link. I did see Mustangs, Mopars, and minivans link up there earlier.
Yeah.
Hunter's car is awesome. What about
taking
Dakota?
a break from cutting wood, Colleen is? Cool. Are you getting your property all squared away? Getting settled in?
Plenty of power. Yeah, that always takes a while, doesn't it? Moving. Hey, Dakota's back. Those cars even awesome with 342 gears.
Dakota, if you have a crystal ball for No Name Nationals in 2024, what do you think you're going to be bringing?
Awesome.
Ron Ward, that's easy. That's because so many of my buddies are Mopar people. And so that's really the point of that, because you think about it, the first year of the event, the only thing that sells it is people depending on me to fulfill my end of the bargain and show up. See, so really there was nothing to see. All you had was my word on it that we were going to do something. So who was most likely to do that? My friends. And that's why there were so many more Mopar people there the first year. The percentage was smaller this year, predictably so. And so we had a Ford win the small tire. We had a Chevrolet win the burnout and the overall. So, but yeah, that's the reason why it was a little Mopar heavier the first year. It's because I'm a Mopar guy.
There's Dakota's link.
Certainly not complaining. Oh boy. Dakota's going to be spraying a 318 to the moon.
Stock 318. JB's going to bring the same crap, just a little bit faster.
Yeah, cool. Great.
That's what I did this year. Brought the same crap, just a little bit faster. Actually, like a little over a second faster.
No spray. We're going to be doing towing it with Hunter's car.
Yeah. Well, he can dream, can he?
NA.
Naturally.
Stock 318 and a D150 going low sevens. What are you going to do? Peel all the body work off of it? And I mean, How are we going to do that? Well, that's right. A stock 318 does make 600 horsepower if you ask some people.
This one does anyhow.
Yeah.
Is that the one he pulled out of the weed?
Jersey.
Smoky unit built 3 years ago.
Yeah, Dallas Thunderbird is wild. He put a lot into that car.
Yeah.
I would say almost certainly Dallas will have it back, and it will be solidly in the fives.
There you go. Tony has an idea for Dakota. Just put it in the back of his truck. We'll both run sevens. 38 says he's going to bring 2 next year. Don't know if that'll happen, though. I hear I'm bringing 2 next year. I don't know if that will happen.
In other words, Thumper's hitching a ride?
Yeah. Yeah, when I met Thumper down there, he says, "Hey, Buck." I'm like, "Man, who are you?" And then he started talking. I said, "Yeah, Thumper."
Yeah. No, I actually recognize it. There is one place that you can see Thumper. He's actually pictured in a thumbnail for the live stream I had him on a while back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's Chris 103 Customs.
Hey, okay. There's Chris.
Michael Blacktree, maybe. You'll know the last Friday of this year.
Yeah, you got to wait for
Dakota, will it hop a pop can in a parking lot?
maybe 2 wing Chevys. Chris Link. Nobody has ever grabbed $100 on the dime. And this new song is on the highway in my room right. It's cool to hear from no-name Nashville folks. Yeah, it is cool. Oh yeah, here's Mustangs, Mopars, minivans link. That's up in there. It's getting deep in here.
It's been deep in here. Dakota just made it deeper.
Yeah, and then they wonder why you time them out.
Well, Dakota needs that for his personal growth.
He doesn't need to grow anymore. He's tall enough.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Dakota, he's a bit taller than I am. He's a tall kid. That's cool, man. Whatever you bring. I just hope you're there. Okay?
Yeah.
Just be there. I wouldn't want anybody to not come because they can't bring their car. Still, come out, hang out, cruise, eat, have fun with us. You can bring your car, that's a bonus.
Right. Yeah, there was so many people there. I don't know. Well, Scott didn't bring his car. Scott Heavens Mopar. Was there anybody else
this year?
Anybody else that didn't bring a car?
Yeah, we always have a few. Mostly old parts. That is an excellent idea. I think that would be a wonderful idea to see a 383 Mopar and a Camaro. Yeah. Dakota embraces the haters, and he would have them in droves.
Yeah,
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Tunnel rims make everything better.
Yeah, and that Subaru, that wild-looking Subaru of Clint's. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He trailered that there from the Knoxville area just to have it there on display. Hopefully it'll be running around next year. Yeah, I know it. Well, Thumper got himself there this year, so maybe he'll get there with a car next year.
Right. Yeah, that's right. He didn't bring a car.
Yeah, and Tetanus. Yep, that's right. Road Beer brought his to bring it. That's awesome. Glad to see it. I love it when people bring their stuff before it's running. That's nothing wrong with that.
408 powered Mopar 408 powered Camaro on a dirt track.
Right on. Chris, the movie was great, but wasn't well attended. Oh yeah, the movie was great. Screen was huge, sound was clear. This was great, but
Yeah, that screen was huge.
just
You could see it from from out on the
not many
road.
people wanted to watch movies, so that's fine.
But then you say a lot of people were watching from the
Well, maybe.
from the pits. Thumper said he was picking a car up on the way home.
Yeah, Ron, don't you have a bunch of 383s?
How many would you like to have?
I had my own Rock Auto parts delivery system at No Name Nationals. I had 2 sets of gears, 1 transmission, a trailer hitch, a power steering pump, a tunnel ram. All came to me to that event, delivered to me right there. How cool was that? Free shipping.
Here, Max Wedge says cross ram the world.
Right on.
Is mostly our whole parts link.
There you go, Dakota. You go all the way to the other side of Canada where Dougster lives, and you can get you a 383. Most of the old parts, you're just bragging now, man.
Or 440.
Tony, we all need to find a 400 block. I don't own a 400. I'd love to.
Need to find me a 400 block. Yeah, I'm all the way in Pennsylvania. You don't see too. I haven't seen too many of them when I've been looking.
You don't.
But like I said, the last live, if I find just any big block, I'm going to grab a hold of it. I have good feelings about this one. I hope it's good. We'll find out. If not, because it comes with everything, fan and pulleys and all the brackets, alternate. I think it has a 100 amp alternator though. But
Chris has a 400 in his 61 Town Wagon. Cool.
Oh yeah. I think Hunter was asking me, oh yeah, how's the 455 swap going? It's coming along. I have to get the bear block out and make sure I got the holes drilled right for the motor mounts.
400s love nitrous. Yeah, I could see that actually. They'd be an excellent candidate for spray. That huge bore and lower compression. Yeah. Big block Chrysler and a Camaro, the Chevy meatheads go crazy. Yes, they would. They would lose their minds. It would be wonderful. How much of our stuff they've messed up with their engines.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, it's everything but the rocker arms. I got the rocker arms.
Right. We got that's the easy part. I bought a set of rocker arms from Mac Wedge Dick Dastardly, but they're small block.
You can imagine the crap you got with a dirt car yet. And most of the time, dirt car, all you use is the body anyway.
No, really?
Likes trolling folks. It's 350, not 220.
You don't have to have a calculator to know that 350 is greater than 220. You know, Ron, the dirt track car could come back. You never know. Russell brought a really cool truck, though.
Yeah, that was neat. Yep, Pit
Yeah,
Blues.
I told her on that, and it's on me. I forgot. Of course, it's on me. Everything's on me ultimately, but I forgot to mention to Ron until right before. I had to run back up to the tower. Said, "Hey, remind these guys when you get in the staging lanes, if you were in a burnout competition, you might have debris under your car, right?
Yeah,
Because it's easy to forget in our burnout competition, there's that grassy spot in the middle.
all right.
Those guys dug a rut. I'm not exaggerating. That rut was a foot deep. They
Wow.
dug in that infield. That was impressive. And yeah, there's a lot of mud and stuff under the car. So I just, So Ron, how many events do you ever you ever have to remind people to check their cars for mud before coming to the staging lanes? How many events do you do that? Where you remind them about checking their cars for mud before they come to the staging lanes? Yeah, Roland had a dirt road ditch. Roland last year, Ron, he had the Grinch stuck up under his car in the burnout competition.
Yeah, he drug that Grinch around for a while.
Yeah. Rich, we're having a blast with it and glad you're part. Roland does nothing halfway. So if having, 4 yards of dirt under the bumper of his car is part of it, then he'll do it.
All Hunter said was LOL and it set the dude off.
And watch, he's probably watching this, and if I do this, that'll be a short made about me right there.
Yeah.
On me. He
Only
said to
track
ask people, case, yeah.
Beach Bend, both after heavy rains.
Huh.
They might have, maybe they're not paved pits.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Tony, check and see. Let's see if that creates a community post. Just nothing but this. It probably will.
Yeah, but there was no lithium grease on them. Even the Dean. Even the Dean. Too much math. Oh, here we go. We called it a hold up and hang up installing a motor Mopar 3 the second gen is a 904 723 is much longer than a TH short shaft or month.
There is, but check your pinion angle and you can totally do it. The overall length is not that much different. The output shaft is a lot longer, but the overall length isn't all that much different. Oh, you like that, did you, Dougster? This 100?
Yeah. From an A-body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could do that. That's good and compact.
Hello, Alan's Cars and Stuff. How you doing?
Or if you want to put up with the funky U-joint you need, you could use a 727 from a motorhome. That's shorter than a 904.
Quick wit like him, that's for sure.
B&R, I put a T56 in a Gen 3F body one time. You got to work around some stuff, but it's not bad.
Dakota put it in his truck before he take out a good 350. What's a jump joint?
I don't know.
I wonder if he's talking about a slip joint.
Maybe.
Drive shaft.
I have an A-body 833.
They're rare.
Tell you what I find harder is the pedals. I need a set of A-body manual transmission pedals. Which I know, I hate even saying that because people are like, well, you're not asking for much. Well, I know. You got to find the rare parts sometime.
They're out there.
Yeah, they're out there.
But where is the question? I had to expand my my marketplace to 250 miles in order to find anything.
Yeah, Brewers, that's true. Ron Brewer was at No Name Nationals last year. Hopefully they'll be back next year. They're a lot of fun. Like those guys.
There's the Dawn. Oh, Spicer numbers.
Yeah, right. 13, yeah. 1350. I like the 1350 joint. That's the one that's going to be a challenge for anybody to break. There's Ed's machine. I haven't seen Ed in a little while.
Oh, Ed. Good to see Ed.
We missed you in Sykeston, Ed.
Yep, he wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not, and he didn't.
Yeah, it happens. It's a good hike, and it's a good commitment of travel.
There's Ed's Machines link. Everybody saying hi to Ed. Where are you at, Doug? Doug's up in Michigan, isn't he? Or is in Minnesota? Where's the Dougster at? I think he's in Michigan, isn't he?
Max Wedge, how many decades ago was that? Because I got to say, I've seen an 8 3/4 in a Duster and pedals and just kept walking before. But that's called the 90s when we weren't as,
Yeah.
We didn't know the stuff would turn into gold.
First responders link. G'day, mate.
Look at Ed channeling his accent there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, early night, exactly.
Early 90s, yeah. Ed needs a trailer and a hell of a truck. If he ever goes to Sykes and he's going to leave with more work, he can return them next year. Did you see Brian Cabal is back? I think
so. We saw that he's back, and last year he left. Not last year, but in April he left because we exposed the car he didn't have and was lying about. And he started a new channel called Kevin Turner the next day. But then when he forgot to change the username, he forgot to change the handle, and he got caught on it. But anyway, yeah, he's back now. But anyway, part 2 will be, the place where he lives. So if he keeps pushing, we'll do that. That'll be the next one. I mean, he's got every opportunity to be a decent person too, and chooses not to.
I love his work. My favorite machinist tonight. So Dakota says the 413 runs good in the Camaro. Almost everything I need to build a ton around. 383 small block Chevy.
What does he do best, Dean, besides badmouth all of us and lie? That's what he does. I don't think you know quite how fraudulent that guy is. It's deep, man. It really is.
There's Ed's link. Yeah, I think I only ever watched him a little bit of one of his rants, and I no more. Was that me? I thought I heard an echo. Great racing action, Mocan Driveway.
Ed, how far are you from Mocan? You're on the other end of Arkansas from here.
He made a video about it.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
$84 miles. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. There's Terry Grover. Hello, Buckman. Hello, everyone. You gonna let me drive the Buick with the 455 and get it done? Or are you afraid to let a Ford man drive? I ain't afraid to let a Ford man drive it. You can drive it. Come on down. He'll probably want me to bring it to him, though. Really big Chevy enough. On the Pontiac V8 kind yet. Racing in Michigan is about done till spring, unfortunately.
The big block Chevy is a good engine.
Good stuff. Amazing engine builder. There's Terry Grover's link. Diesel is lurking with a frozen gherkin. I was glad my internet's been okay, hasn't it? No buffering or anything.
Seems fine.
Okay, because earlier I was watching the YouTubes and it was crazy windy here today, and then it would just start buffering. I'm like, must be my internet.
Hey, Ed, got a question for you. This bearing be okay to run again, wouldn't it? It's all right, isn't it?
They're bearings for used cars. Cope's home.
See, it's not too bad. It's just, oh, come on. You know, I can just wire wheel it a little and it'll be just fine, right? Yeah, here we go. If I wire wheel it a little, it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
See, now it's shiny. Wilbur didn't get. Cope did not get my thumbnail. Well, the people who needed to get it got it. And we took care of the housekeeping that it needed to accomplish before the live, and that was perfect. That was ideal. You see, Don says it looks just fine. No, come on, live dangerously. Wire wheel on a grinder. Come on, man. We just wire wheel that. These actual. Okay, so I just got So I needed to make that thumbnail, and I needed three things to make it. Actually, a fourth one would have been nice, but I didn't have the right container. I needed today's newspaper, a $100 bill, and some rod bearings. And so I grabbed these literally out of the scrap barrel. They've been in the weather. That's why they look so bad. And the paper and the $100 bill. The only thing I didn't have is I would like to have had a squeeze tube of white lithium grease, and I did not. JD knows.
With the lithium grease. It'll buff out. He did that to the other live. He flushed the toilet.
See.
There you go. Hit it with a ball hone. It'll be fine.
See, this is what I'm going to do right here. Check it out. So let's say that like the journal is 10 under. I'll just take like this tool I can do some hand knurling with and just see. See, now I've just kind of hand knurled it, and now it'll fit that 10 under journal just right?
Yeah.
See? People aren't imaginative enough.
And if you're good enough with that knife, you can groove it.
See? Spot on. That's right. That's right. We can add an oil groove too.
Yeah.
Well, technically, these are 318 bearings coat, but close enough. An old rotten tube of Luber plate. Actually, I've only had that in a can. Good old GM Luber plate.
Yeah. I think I just threw it. I had a tube of that was yellow. It was starting to turn yellow.
Tri-metal removal machine. It's called an oiling system that's not working.
Yeah. Take off the babbitt. Don't forget the hand tightening rod caps.
Exactly.
It feels just right.
Yeah, the way they're supposed to work in the engine is you put them in like this, and then you just hand tighten the caps until they do this on their own. See,
Yeah.
then it's perfect.
Luber is for brakes and hinges.
Funny stuff. These are factory 318. I never even looked to see if they're
Standards.
size. Yeah, they're standard. These are straight out of the scrap bin, literally.
It'll cause issues. Just ask Hunter. Hunter, all he wrote was LOL and he got an issue.
I use Anasys as my lubricant on the brakes, like for where the shoes contact the backing plate. Yeah, and on the self adjusters, I use Anasys.
Yeah, because I already have the anti-seize right there for the self adjusters.
It's so exactly. It's
I'm
perfect.
The same way. I just used it to right around.
I've been dreading it, but I just did the job on the back of the CRV that it needed a bearing, a rear wheel bearing on the driver's side. And I'm like, okay, so I did the inner CV boots. I did I did the wheel bearings, which are the cartridge style and press in. Those suckers are $80 a piece.
Wow.
While I was at it, I did the brake shoes because they go inside the rotor.
I got you. Yeah, I had to do that to my truck with backing plates, brake shoes.
It's a big job on that thing. Yeah. And the thing that sucks is that the ABS sensor just kind of, I don't know how it does it. It's plastic, but it just fuses with rust into the caliper bracket, or into the not the caliper bracket, but in the hub itself. And you can't get that thing out. So I actually cut it. I cut the wire and then put a plug in there, so I'll never have that problem again. But it's aggravating.
There was once a time when none of us knew anything. At least we knew. At least we knew we didn't know it. Some people would consider that new old stock.
Yeah.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. Tony says, what are you talking about, John? According to 220, you don't work on anything. You just watch.
I have a degree in it. It must be forged.
Tony, don't open that box.
Right. No kidding. Yeah, Lubriplate was, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's legit. I like the Anisees better. And Anisees comes in the bottle with the brush. You know, they made it to replace Lubriplate.
Yeah, wind it all around. Yeah, that the only thing wrong with Anisees is, man, it gets everywhere.
Man, okay, so
one little spot.
Do you know what Prussian blue is? You ever use that?
Prussian blue. I don't think I've ever used that.
You can get the same effect with Anisees, but it's easier to see the Anisees first. I had a buddy that would put that on the earpiece of phones in the shop. When you had the corded phone on the wall, and they'd call it, and so they pick that thing up and get it all over their ear.
Oh, gosh.
First responder will know, and Tony will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, John. I heard a story one time where somebody I think they put Anisees on his welding helmet, on the brim. And then when they put it on, it was around his whole head.
All right,
he said that poor guy had a headache for days.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you an old shop prank, but it better not happen at No Name Nationals because I'm going to know where you heard it. We would go on the underside of somebody's windshield wiper, and we would put dabs of Anisees and grease and different stuff. And then when they'd run their wipers, it would look like a flag across the windshield.
You go one step further and add cigarette ashes.
I didn't want to ever put that under somebody's door handle because, as funny as it would be, you don't want them getting it on their seats and that kind of thing. But
John did it. It was John, I swear.
Copper and the Anisee, yeah, that style's good. Toolbox handles, Molly grease, yeah. I think my favorite one though that we ever did. Well, there were several really good ones. One of them though, the when you have the fluorescent drop lights that plug in up at the ceiling, and you have the cord on the reel, and it locks. That's what we had. And when you pulled all the slack out of it, you could let the light go back up the ceiling. Well, the light had a stop on the cord so that it couldn't get more than 8 feet up, so that you could drive in and everything, but the light couldn't go up too high because those ceilings in there were probably 15 or 16 feet. So there was a guy one time that kept playing a trick on me. He would hide my hat in different places. Like one day it was up on, by the ceiling. One day he was hidden in the tool room. He did his thing. He liked to hide my hat. So I'm like, okay. Well, one day, it was hard to catch this guy without a hat. I thought the hat was made on his head. And one day I caught him at lunch without his hat. So I took the hat and I pulled the cord down on the reel, pulled about 10 feet out of it, and I tied the hat off on that, I think with a zip tie, and sent it back up to the ceiling so that his hat was probably 14 feet up. And he looked for that hat all afternoon, and somebody finally saw it up there. They went and got a ladder to get it down. It wasn't close enough to the lift that you could just stand on it and send somebody up. They couldn't reach over quite far enough. So they had to get a ladder to get it down.
The best one I've seen was when that one guy, the one garage I worked at, the one guy messed with this other guy all the time. He went out there and took his throttle cable off and hooked the spring to the throttle cable. So when he went to leave for the day, he had no gas pedal. It felt like he had it, but he didn't.
That's cool. Yeah. The other thing that was so freaking fun to do was create a short to voltage, and we would always do it with the horn. Oh. So you know where this is going, right? And you don't do it with the brake pedal because they don't know it right away when they get in the car. You always do it with something like a turn signal.
Turn signal, yeah. You blow the horn every time. Yeah.
Oh man, it was so much fun.
Just don't take the return spring. Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Mimi. Dean DeHatter. Yeah, so I've seen the old turn signal on the horn before.
Yeah.
But not on the, I don't know if I ever heard it on the brake.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can short it to voltage anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dakota, that's not funny at all. I wouldn't do that.
No, that's not nice at all.
But putting a zip tie on the drive shaft is.
Yeah. Some guy called me one time and says he had this noise underneath. I said, it sounds like somebody tied a zip tie to your drive shaft.
Yeah.
He said, how the hell did you figure that out? I said, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
And I've heard it.
Yeah. Harmonica zip tied in the grill. That's pretty good.
Oh, God.
That'd be a fun one to find. Well, I'll tell you what was probably, I don't want to call it the most despicable, but it is really freaking funny. I hate telling these people because some of these people will do this stuff. You turn the defroster on full blast, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you take a hole punch, which could be like this one, just saying, right?
Okay.
And then you empty out the confetti contents into a sheet of notebook paper, roll it up like a funnel, and you pour it into the defroster grate. And then when they get in, the defroster's already on high, crank it up.
Piece of gravel inside a hubcap. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Dakota, man, you're mean.
Yeah, he is mean.
A washer down the carb. Tapping a wrench on the bumper when your buddy starts the car. That's a good one right there. That's
yeah. I worked at a tire shop, and one guy was leaving for the day. The other guy went out there with a pair of snippers and just tore his valve stem right out of the wheel.
Yeah.
Instant flat. Yeah, pull it right inside. Pull the tire off. Put a in valve stem, and then go home.
That's a good one. Yep, long zip tie on the drive shaft. Yeah, we mentioned that.
It might burn your car to the ground. Jacqueline Smith had some serious fuel tank and brake issues. Were your forefathers? Instant snow globe. Oh, inside the with the hole punch. Instant snow globe. We use not buzzer whistles in the grill. They have to about 7 or 4 travel and sound like a parrot on fire.
Rich, that reminds me. Okay, Rich, the
Julie
Rich,
doesn't.
there was there was a guy I know that used to coat headers before buying coated headers was a common thing, right? And people would send him headers or he could supply them, either one. And he would do the ceramic coating and bake them in an oven and ship them back out. And a long time ago, like in the late 90s, this was a very profitable thing. Not now, but it was then. Anyway, one of the guys decided it'd be funny to ship him a set of headers and put that in the collector. He takes this out of the box and it spills out the floor, and everybody's, so yeah.
Steely Dan hit the fan. I'll bet, Rich. That was so funny.
I don't do stuff like that. I don't want to do anything. I don't do any of the prank stuff at all. I don't want to get into that. I would participate in it a long time ago, but not now.
Nah, it was young and dumb.
I'll tell you what, you get an incredible receipt from me if anybody ever wanted to do that.
If you wanted it, we your toolbox for a month.
Yeah, I'm not quite the prankster like that, but funny stuff. Colleen, I don't know about the stir in the pot thing. Some people need it. Some people need the show of YouTube military force, and that's what has to happen sometimes. But
We're just having a laugh. Ran out of gas. Well, that's something else you always do too. Is shut the gas off on the propane forklift. That's nice. No ladies in the shop. Well, I'm trying to think of something to switch the conversation.
we got a lot of pranksters in here.
Yeah. Carry outside, fill up with propane and carry a 60-80 pound all the way back to the forklift shop. Oh boy. Had to get some emails. I'm back. JB's back. I don't have one of them signs. Hit the kill switch when the S10 drives away.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do that.
No, I've never seen a propane tank explode. I don't want to either.
No. I know when I took welding years back, they showed us a safety video.
Uh-huh.
And this safety video was hardcore. It was an old one. And they were telling you, how you set your pressure on acetylene and how volatile it is and all this stuff. Then they gave an example of some guy, and I don't remember where he was, up north somewhere. But he had gotten a used acetylene tank at a flea market, and he couldn't get the valve out of it. So he took a hammer and chisel and got the valve out of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So all they know is that there was this massive explosion that blew up his entire house, and they found the valve in the field somewhere, and they pretty much cleaned this guy up with a pressure washer.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, you could imagine how explosive that had to be. But they showed pictures. I mean, there was nothing left of this guy. Samples to verify who it used to be. So anyway, I've never forgotten that. I'll tell you one thing: I've never messed around with acetylene either. I 5-6 psi, and you know,
Right. JB dropped propane tanks from roofs. They don't explode. They're tough.
yeah. By and large, they make them tough to where people could knock them over.
Yeah.
Now, one thing on my shop out here, I've got a 100-pound tank, and the line to it is copper, but it's got a bunch of coils in it. And the purpose for that is in case anything were to ever get that tank knocked over, it can't rip the line.
Right.
So it'll just expand, but it won't rip the line. And that's how I have a hard line, but I still have the safety of a soft line if it were to ever get knocked over. And most people don't do that. They're like, why should I run 20 feet of copper when I only need 10? Now that's why.
Yeah. Well, do you ever see those airbags? You ever blow up an airbag?
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe it.
We used to set those off. We would set them off by putting we would have a starter switch and a 12-volt battery. It sounds like a shotgun going off.
Yeah,
And that thing can go 2-3 stories in the air.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, those things are so dangerous.
Turn himself off.
That's the thing, Rich. You're right. You're exactly right. We know you're kidding about these things, Dakota, because you wouldn't have lived very long if you did all of them.
Same thing with the brake line. The coil's there for a reason.
No kidding.
Oh, the coil. He's talking about the coil underneath the master cylinder, I guess.
Right.
Them coils are strong, though. Wow.
He's joking about the brakes, the insulin, but not the washer and the carburetor.
Looks cool. Artsy. There's Peckerwood Customs. Hello, Peckerwood. Good morning, folks. Hey, Peckerwood. Oh, yeah. 3 hours. Wow.
Which reminds me, I got some stuff I need to catch up on here. We've been having a good time, and at least I have. I've been having a good time and just got some things I need to do. So I will.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off here pretty soon. I'm pretty tired. I got to get up early tomorrow. That engine's like 150 miles away, so I'm trying to get there early in the morning so I can get back home at a decent time.
Well, that'll be a fun trip, though. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah, it's going out Western PA. It's I'll take the turnpike out there, and I might come back the back roads home.
Cool.
So out in the mountains, probably through a tunnel.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun. Gentlemen and Colleen. And thank you guys. I've been fun hanging out. Y'all have a good evening.
It's fun with you, John. Thanks for stopping in. Always good to have you.
We'll see y'all.
See you later. And with John jumping out, I'm going to jump out too, peoples. I want to thank everybody for a great night tonight. We had a great conversation. A whole lot of fun. Buck is John and he's tired. Yep. Yeah, I'm getting old. Can't handle this stuff anymore. So with that, I'll see what happens next weekend. I'll most likely do a live anyway, but if I don't, I'll let you know. And then, and if not, then we'll be back the week after for sure. But I don't know because I remember something was going on next week, but I'm not sure. So anyway, take a shot and go to bed. I don't drink anymore, but I'll take a shot of water. I'll think that. See everyone at a later date. Yep. And with that, thank you all for stopping in. Be good. And you can't be good, be kind. End the stream here. See you.